Sunday, April 12, 1981, Kennedy Space Center, Florida. The Space Shuttle, 14 stories high, 2,000 tons, poised on the pad for its maiden flight. This is Columbia, the spaceship that will orbit the Earth. Its external tank, it holds over 500,000 gallons of fuel for Columbia's 3 main engines. And the solid rocket boosters, the largest ever used on any launch vehicle and the first to be employed in a U.S. manned flight. At liftoff, the solid rocket boosters, together with the 3 main engines, will unleash more than 6.5 million pounds of thrust needed to launch the world's first reusable spacecraft. Never before has a winged vehicle been launched like a rocket, orbited the Earth, returned through frictional heating in excess of 2,500 degrees, and landed, still aerodynamically sound, to be launched again and again. If it succeeds, the space shuttle will truly be a remarkable flying machine. There are many other goals to be reached during the 54.5-hour mission that lies ahead. 144 test objectives are planned for the flight. These objectives could not be achieved without an astronaut crew. The commander, John Young. The pilot, Robert Crippen. Young has already been in space 4 times for a total of 533 hours. He is the most experienced astronaut flying today. Although Crippen has over 4,000 hours of jet aircraft flying time, this will be his first time in space. The astronauts make their way across the access arm toward the shuttle in the pre-dawn hours before launch. An American spaceship has never carried a human crew on its maiden voyage. At the Launch Control Center, 3 miles from the pad, final steps are being completed in the countdown. Final preparations are also being made in the Mission Control Center in Houston, where control of the flight will switch once the shuttle clears the tower. There has not been a manned launch from Kennedy Space Center since the Apollo-Soyuz test project in July of 1975. With this launch, Young and Crippen, launch controllers at the Cape, and flight controllers in Houston will experience the most dynamic, fast-paced series of launch events ever undertaken in the space program, all in less than 9 minutes. The most challenging ascent profile ever to be flown by a space vehicle. Photographers, film and television crews, plus newspaper and magazine writers from around the world, nearly 2,700 of them are here to cover the launch. In addition, approximately 600,000 spectators line the coastal area near the Kennedy Space Center. Arriving by every mode of transportation, they have come from every state in the Union and many foreign countries. The promise of a rebirth in America's manned space program and the dawn of a new era in space transportation awaits.
14, 13, T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone for main engine start. Roger, roll.
The roll will put the shuttle on its precise heading toward an imaginary target in space.
Roll program complete. Roger, roll complete.
Status, Fido. Go. Booster. Go. GNC. Go. Eagle. Go. Go at 40, Capcom.
Columbia, Houston, you're go at 40.
The shuttle is now 40 seconds into flight.
Roger, Columbia, on the nice ride. You're lofting a little bit. You'll probably be slightly high at staging.
Negative seats.
Columbia, you're negative seats.
Should anything go wrong, the shuttle is now too high for the astronauts to use their ejection seats.
Columbia, you're go for SRB step.
We see SRB step, flight. Roger, on a step. 103, converge, flight. Bet. Capcom, let's tell them all the calls are going to be a tad early because of the hot first stage.
Columbia, you're looking a little hot. All your calls will be a little early. Okay. And that looks good here.
Stand by, press to MECO.
Columbia, stand by. Press to MECO.
Mark it.
Mark. Press for MECO. Roger, press for MECO.
The shuttle can now continue toward MECO, main engine cutoff.
They like the VAP, Eagle. ECOM.
Let's go, flight.
Capcom, VAPs go. Stand by, negative return.
Columbia, stand by for negative return.
Mark it.
Mark. Negative return. And your VAP is good. Outstanding. Sure is. We can confirm it. What a view.
And single engine rota, flight.
And Columbia, your single engine rota.
Columbia can land safely at the Naval Air Station in Rota, Spain, even if 2 of the 3 main engines should fail. Right now, the engines are generating over 42 million horsepower.
At MECO, 25, 6,
MECO.
0, up at 220.
Roger, MECO. And we got MECO confirmed. MECO
Roger,
confirmed,
Columbia,
and it's
MECO.
right on the money, nominal.
Main engine cutoff. Columbia is now in space, traveling over 18,000 miles per hour.
Okay, we got step. Roger, we confirm the step, Columbia.
The external tank has just been jettisoned and is now falling away from the shuttle back toward Earth. The tank will break up as planned over the Indian Ocean when it comes into contact with the atmosphere. Shortly, by firing the OMS, Orbital Maneuvering System engines, Columbia will achieve orbit. Then one of the most important tests of the mission will be attempted, opening the payload bay doors. The doors must be opened before the end of the 6th orbit to expose the space radiator cooling system. If the radiators cannot be exposed, heat collected from the onboard electronics cannot be released, and the astronauts will have to return home. The OMS burns are successful. Columbia is now in orbit, circling the Earth at an altitude of approximately 150 miles. The payload bay doors will now be opened.
Okay, the port door's coming open now. Roger, copy. Well, you're missing one fantastic sight. Boy, that is really beautiful out there. We appreciate those updates.
Both doors have been opened. The radiators can be deployed to begin dissipating the heat.
The doors are all opened up and hunky-dory. Labs are deployed right on time. And the radiators look good. Okay, we want to show you our own pods here. We do have a few tile missing off of both of them. Off of the starboard pod, 3 tile and some smaller pieces, and off the port pod, looks like I see 1 full square and looks like a few little triangular shapes that are missing, and we're trying to put that on TV right now.
Roger, Crip, we can see that good.
From what we can see of both wings, tops and leading edges, though, all those are fully intact.
Within minutes, an assessment is completed on the impact these missing tiles could have on the remainder of the mission.
Figure how critical.
At a news conference later in the day, Flight Director Neil Hutchison answers questions from reporters.
But you asked me if I knew where there were any other tiles that might be loose. The answer is no. And quite frankly, we're not worried about any other tiles being loose.
At this writing, is there anything at all that would lead you to say you might not go for a full duration mission?
Nothing.
Columbia, Houston, you guys did so good, we're going to let you stay up there for a couple of days. Your gopher on orbit.
Spacecraft wants Gopher on orbit. This thing is just performing just outstanding.
Roger, we agree with that. And Columbia, Houston, just for your information, you dropped those SRBs right on target, and they were floating just the way they ought to be, and the boats were getting ready to fish them and bring them back.
Okay. The ride that they gave us was pretty neat.
The solid rocket boosters, which separated from the Columbia as planned 2 minutes 11 seconds into the flight, landed on target in the Atlantic Ocean, 151 miles downrange from the launch site. After being towed back to Kennedy Space Center, both boosters will be refurbished and used again in a future shuttle flight. The 3rd and 4th OMS burns are also successful, raising Columbia's orbit to an altitude of approximately 172 miles. For the first television transmission from inside the spacecraft, the crew will give a status report on the mission.
The flight so far has gone as smooth as it could possibly go. We've done every test that we're supposed to do, and we're up on the timeline, and the vehicle has just been performing beautifully, much better than anyone ever expected to do on a first flight, and no systems are out of shape. And it's delightful up here in zero gravity, might add. Of course, we owe this to a lot of people, and we certainly want to thank everyone who has helped get this thing airborne, and can take great pride in it's doing so well right now. Okay, we're switching over to the aft camera here. I'd like to echo John's words as I usually do. I guess being the so-called rookie on this flight, I had a thrill from the moment of liftoff all the way up to what we're doing now. It's really been super. The spacecraft has worked as advertised all the way along. I think we've got something that's really going to mean something to the country and the world. This vehicle is performing like a champ, like all of us that have worked so long on it knew that you would.
Okay, sir, we appreciate those comments.
I guess that does it.
That was good timing. I think you must have practiced. We're just about to lose your gold song.
Just accident.
Just accident, says Robert Crippen. None of the other events of the day have been accidental. Every test, liftoff, SRB separation and recovery, ET separation and impact, 4 ohms burns, payload bay door latch opening and closing tests, radiator latch deploy and stowing tests have all been successful.
I guess we owe you guys one super attaboy for today. This is fantastic. You worked through a pretty long, hard day, and you're essentially right on schedule, which is going to be close to being a first sort of spaceflight biz, I think, for first day activities. It's sure been fun working with you today, and we look forward to seeing you in the morning. I hope you get a good night's rest.
Okay, you guys did super work today. See you mañana.
Roger, thank you. See you tomorrow, guys.
Well, many, many hours thing. A job well done by the shuttle space team. We can't say that she's sleek and lean, but I'll tell you right now, she's a mean machine. The Columbia, not the kind you smoke. This here's a bird.
Morning, Columbia. Welcome to day 2.
All right. Appreciate that super wake-up music this morning. Well, we sure enjoyed it. This one a good breakfast.
Today, the astronauts will test onboard systems and also review procedures for tomorrow's landing. A test of the flight control system is conducted by John Young. The flight control system operates Columbia's aerosurfaces, the elevons, body flaps, rudder, and speed brake. These surfaces are useless in the vacuum of space, but will be essential tomorrow when the shuttle lands. This will require precision maneuverability, which the aerosurfaces provide. Payload bay door cycling tests help ensure that latching and closing procedures can also be done before entry tomorrow. As with every mission, many pictures of the Earth are taken by the astronauts. Over 500 on this first shuttle flight. Active volcanoes, cloud formations, alluvial fans, giant whirlpools over 15 miles in diameter, sand dunes 1,500 feet high, running unbroken for hundreds of miles. The high Himalayas, where mountain peaks reach 24,000 feet. And one of the most remarkable space photographs ever taken of the Earth, an area in Iran exposed to wind erosion, which has resulted in these breathtaking silt and sandstone formations that look more like a painting than a desert. After lunch on the second day, the astronauts receive a phone call from the Vice President of the United States, George Bush.
How's it going up there? Everything rocking along all right?
Spaceship is just performing beautifully.
Well, it's great, and everybody views it, I'm sure, just as the forerunner of great things to come. I think your trip is just going to ignite the excitement and the forward thinking from this country, so I really just wanted to call up and wish you the very best.
We certainly appreciate it, Mr. Vice President.
The crew also don and check out the ejection suits they will wear during entry. Young, Crippen, and Columbia pass every test. They are ready for the final phase of the mission, entry and landing. April 14th, 1981. NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center on the edge of Rogers Dry Lake Bed in California. A recovery convoy of 24 vehicles and more than 100 personnel are assembling here to power down Columbia after landing. Enormous crowds are also beginning to arrive. A string of traffic 6 miles long waits to enter the base. Thousands more are already here. Close to 500,000 people will eventually be on hand to see the landing. On board, the astronauts suit up for entry. The ascent and orbital phases of the mission have gone extremely well. Now the final phase must be completed. Before that begins,
Columbia, you have a go for payload bay door closing.
the doors, which have been open a total of 47 hours during the flight, must now be closed. Then, using the RCS thrusters, Columbia will maneuver into deorbit burn attitude, head down and backwards, fire the OMS engines one last time, and descend into the Earth's atmosphere.
Nice and easy does it, John. We're all riding with you.
Columbia is out of contact during the OMS burn. Mission Control will not know if this burn was successful until they are in communication with the spacecraft over Australia. It is now over the Indian Ocean on the other side of the world. But from that distance, the burn must be precise, so that later, Columbia will hit the lake bed target in California.
Columbia, this is Houston through Yargady. We're standing by.
Burn was on time at nominal. It is 110.
Columbia is now committed to entry. With an RCS post-burn maneuver and several firings, it is oriented to a heads-up, nose-first attitude headed toward entry interface. This is where the atmosphere begins, at approximately 400,000 feet.
John, we copied,
From that moment until the shuttle reaches 165,000 feet, it will be in communication blackout, out of touch with mission control for almost 20 minutes. The landing site is almost 4,400 miles from entry interface. Chase planes are preparing to take off. One will call out altitudes and check Columbia for any damage just prior to landing. When the shuttle touches down here, it will be traveling at 216 miles per hour. Right now, it's going more than 17,000 miles per hour. Before it lands, it must slow down, lose energy, and it must survive the intense heat caused by traveling through the atmosphere at such a high rate of speed. Several S-turns or roll reversals are used to slow down and maneuver Columbia through the atmosphere. This one is done at 256,000 feet when it is traveling at more than 26 times the speed of sound. This one is done at 208,000 feet. During these two roll reversals, entry heating is most severe, with temperatures reaching 2,500 degrees some places on the vehicle. The aluminum skin will melt at 320 degrees. The silicate tiles must insulate the vehicle from the tremendous heat. Since there is no test facility on Earth to simulate the aerodynamic and structural environment Columbia is in right now, only calculations could be used to predict what would happen during this phase of the flight. The predictions and calculations had to be right.
Hello there, Houston. Columbia's here.
Hello, Columbia. Houston's here. How do you read?
Plan clear, and we're doing Mach 10.3 at 180 AS.
And we couldn't agree more, John. Your state vector's good. We've got good data in-house.
Okay.
The entry trajectory, velocity, and position look good. Columbia is heading for home, now only 470 miles away.
More left RCS, but okay.
Right, we're showing you roll. And John, we're showing you rolling right. Looking good.
Right, I'm on roll.
We're showing him crossing the coastline flag.
Columbia, we show you crossing the coast now.
Right, yeah. We can come.
The shuttle is first sighted at about 100,000 feet with a long-range camera from Anderson Peak, California.
What a way to come to California.
And flat pedal, I still look perfect right on the nominal.
The best part.
Roger
Came
that.
back just
Out of
for the best part,
112K, 4.8 Mach.
Push me up that center row.
That would be nice if we had audio. Huh. Where's the audio? It's gone.
Columbia's altitude is... Chase reports no tile or other damage is evident underneath the shuttle. Columbia's altitude is now just over 5,000 feet.
Probably, Norel.
Pretty clear?
Without power, Columbia must land. it cannot make another attempt.
Oh my God, YouTube blocked the audio out.
Feet. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Those gears come. 5, 4, 3, touchdown. Hook 'em off, skipper.
Houston, Columbia is on the rollout.
Houston, Columbia's on the rollout.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
I still love that thing. It's still pretty cool. Nah, YouTube isn't live. Don't worry about it. Want to take us up the hangar, Joe? Now we're going to dust it off first.
Okay, convoy's on its way.
Convoy launch. We'll stop for the Columbia. We'll stop.
Hell yeah.
The maiden voyage of Columbia has been a success. The astronauts and the vehicle have met or exceeded all 144 flight test objectives.
Escapes.
The integrity of all the
Purge
systems.
out of the hydrazine systems.
Propulsion, avionics, structural, flight control,
What a
power, and
badass
thermal
piece of
have been
equipment that
affirmed.
thing is, man.
John Young's comments after returning home.
I can't tell you what a tribute that is to the American working man and the American working woman, too. You can't imagine the variety of people who worked on this vehicle, from all walks of life, all capabilities and limitations. It's all due to their individual efforts. They proved that they can do the job. They proved it for the world to see. And I'm mighty proud to be associated with folks like that.
What a tribute indeed. The Columbia represents an achievement in
Look at how big
aerospace
that thing is.
technology and
This is one of my favorite shots from this video. Look, because you can see how it shows you in perspective, because this camera's further back. You see the trucks and stuff. It shows you how big the damn thing is. The shuttle is not small. It's big.
development never before realized in the history of manned spaceflight. It is our basic
I know,
building
Muffin. Yeah,
block
that would be really good if you could just, walk off the spacecraft, a couple pickup trucks show up. No big
for
deal.
the future.
It's what we've been trying to do for the last 10 years. We've got a vehicle with a payload performance that will allow us to do that.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Was that a Mac F series? Oh, Mac F series. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Performance that will allow us to do that. Much cheaper than we've been able to do it before. It will immeasurably improve the defensive capability of the country. It will help develop space science and technology. When we get operational, the space shuttle will be able to do in 5 to 10 years what it would have taken us 20 to 30 years to do otherwise. We couldn't do it if we didn't have the space shuttle and that payload capability. And the sooner we do those things, the better off the country's going to be.
A revolutionary new era in space transportation has just begun. Routine access to space. Welcome to the future.
Freaking great. Freaking great, dude. Can't tell you what tribute that is to the American working man and the American working woman, too. Fix the O-rings. Jackasses. Anyway, all right, let's see what we got. What do we got? We got plenty of links for you. We got plenty of things going on. Let me fire up YouTube, and then we'll go from there. Hello. Welcome to the Space and Rocket Review. Space and Rocket Review. You two girls. Tell your friends. You in the hat. Space and Rocket Review. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing well? Yeah? Good? Great? Good, great, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the bus! All right, I need to go to here. This is what we need. Nope, didn't show me anything there. Let's go try looking for the rocket and space review. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So look what Max spotted off the coast of Cape Canaveral. Yowza. Look at that. It's too clean for having already flown. It's in pretty good condition, man. I'll check that in a second, man. Yeah, Lorgen Newglen. So that is the NG2, New Glenn Mission 2, GS1, Glenn Stage 1. So that's the New Glenn 2 first stage. All right. That's the first stage that's been aptly named Never Tell Me the Odds. And that did land after Blue Origin's successful escapade mission for NASA on Flight 2. It's sitting just a little ways outside of Port Canaveral right now. It's not in port yet, but it's close. It was close enough for Max to be able to snap a picture. Reported arrival time of 0800 tomorrow morning. Man, this picture from Max, though. Wowzers. Yeah, that thing looks great. It looks in great condition. Paint's a little faded right there. I've noticed the paint's a little faded kind of in this armpit right here on both sides. But other than that, yeah, that thing looks brand new. But that's what I mean, dude. That's what I've been saying. You know, it's not, you know, you're not going to see much damage on this thing. They kind of built the whole thing first and then, you know, or engineered the whole thing first and then went, you know. And also, it's not going to have soot on it because it's using LNG and not Keralox. It's using liquefied natural gas for its fuel. It burns a lot cleaner. Like I said, boy, they're using nice quality burning propane, butane, and methane. So, yeah, that thing looks brand new, dude. It looks like it's never flown, which is actually kind of crazy. How are we going to be able to tell if these boosters have been reused when they get to that point? I don't know. You know, like, how are we supposed to know? Do we know, did she fly in letters facing up or down? I have no idea, dude. Yeah, no soot. You need some like tally marks. Yeah, you gotta draw like some graphics down here or something. But there you go. It's gonna be in port tomorrow morning. Pretty cool. Great shot from Max, dude. It looks mint. Oh, speaking of that, you guys want to see something cool? So I reposted this. This was a picture that Jeff Bezos posted over the weekend. And it shows people working on the landing legs of the ship out, you know, after it landed. Now, they're on Jacqueline working on something with the landing legs, right? And it really kind of puts it into scale. So I said, oh, she's a biggin. It is a biggin. Check this out. So I'm going to go into my notifications here. Uh-oh. Hey, Jeff, my guy, what's up? What's up? What's up? Congratulations. That's awesome. Make more, please. Make like a lot more. Like, that's 2 billionaires that have liked tweets of mine. That's 2. I got Elon and Jeff to like tweets of mine. 2 billionaires. All right. I'm almost part of the Tres Comas Club at this point. Almost. Tell him to fire Dan Clancy. I'm not touching that one, dude. I have no idea. I just hit the live button and it goes live. That's all I do. That's my boss. It is my boss. That's pretty cool. Senpai noticed me. Is that what the kids say? That's pretty neat, dude. I thought that was super cool. I was driving up into the city over the weekend and my phone just started going bananas. And I'm like, what the heck? And I had it in my pocket. I took it out of my pocket. I put it on the dashboard. And Bree's like, wait a minute. Oh my goodness. And I'm like, I'm stuck in traffic. I can't do, you know. Could one rename Blue Origin with any other color, or is there a backstory with the name? There's a backstory. I forget what it is. Nobody says that. Stop trying to be cool, Gen Z guy. Yeah, shut up, you punk. They do say that. They say it all the time. I know, because I'm around punks like you all the freaking time. 6'7" or something. Or whatever the hell you say. Dude, the NASA commentators made a joke. Dude, I was watching Sunday Night Football last night. You want to hear something ridiculous? I was watching Sunday Night Football, right? And Chris Collinsworth, one of the commentators, he's the color guy for Sunday Night Football. And there was a ridiculous play that the refs didn't call. And you know what he said? He said, wow, people are certainly going to be talking about that on Twitch. Don't. Stop it. Stop. Don't do that again. I'm just like, no, bro. What the hell? Stop it. Stop doing that. Stop it. Anyway, so yeah, New Glenn should be coming into port tomorrow. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, let's see. What else do we got? So,
this is space. I'm in space.
Nova gifted a sub to Scooby-Doo toilet. Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo toilet. France, no hat. Well, you are talking about it. Yeah, that's true. EJ, they say Elon is about to become a trillionaire. Okay. So it will be a billionaire and a trillionaire. Oh, okay. Does the New Glenn booster land further downrange than a Falcon 9? Yes, way further downrange. Think Falcon Heavy center core, dude. That thing, because of the LNG, it burns for a really long time. Oh no. Oh no. Don't do that again. I just hit the gritty in my Skibbity toilet food court, level 67 MOG, pure Ohio Sigma energy. I think I lost brain cells reading that and saying it back. I lost enough brain cells getting hit in the head. Don't just, all right. Clip it. Yeah, go ahead, do it. I don't care. I don't give up. Flip. All right, check this out. So, Dave Limp actually posted this over the weekend too. In a recent hot fire, our BE3U engine reached more than 211,500 pounds of thrust. That makes the BE3U the highest thrust-to-weight hydrogen engine in history at more than 90. Here's the video of that test for your enjoyment. Oh, don't mind if I do. Headphone users, if there's audio, it's going to be loud, so just be careful. No, it's not very loud. Dude, 211,500 pounds of force is 940 kilonewtons. Whoa. 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 940 kilonewtons on a dual expander. That's really good. Holy cow, and there's two of them. Bottling up. Cone's moving a little bit. This is a BE3U. It's the New Glenn second stage engine, Bandit. Two of them, 940 kilonewtons each. 1.8 meganewton from the second stage. That's pretty good, man. That's better than an S4B. That's New Glenn second stage is a more powerful Saturn V third stage, and it's bigger. Dude, I want that. This stage needs to be on top of SLS, man. This is your departure. This is your Earth departure stage, man. Oh, please put it on there. Pretty impressive entropy, and it's using an expander cycle, which is. Blue's cooking, man. Let them cook. Let them cook. This is great. Oh, look at the throttle back. Oh, hold up. I need to see it again. Oh! 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 Yeah. All right. Dude, we should put one of those. Put one of that on the back of the EUS. Just one. You put one of those on the back of the EUS? Frick the RL10s. We don't need those. We don't need those. Just put one of those on the back. Why don't the engineers just put one of those on the back? It's more powerful and it's just as efficient. And it has a super high TWR. Surely it's Well, wait a minute. B3Us produce 460 second specific impulse. If that thing has 90 TWR, that's high. Dave Limp's right. It's higher than an RL10 engine. One BE3U on the back of that thing will give the EUS more delta V than it already has. And a way higher thrust to weight ratio. Bro, Pigzig, the B3U's, I mean, it's not, but it's basically a J2X at this point. Oh my God. We're sitting on this. Put it on top of SLS, you fluffers, you fluff bags, you fluff. Yeah, I got to talk to Jeff. Be like, yo, Jeff, yo. Nice save. Thank you, fluff bags. That's really freaking good, man. That's really good. 940 kilonewtons of thrust. That's a freaking J2, man. It's an expander cycle J2, meaning it's more efficient. Hold on. BE3. No. Yes. Yes. 90 to 1 TWR, man. 90 to 1. You could extrapolate the mass of the engine from that. Just I know that Blue doesn't want us to, but you could. Oh my word. So what would SLS's payload to the moon be with the current B3U? Do the math? Oh, the math's actually not that bad. That motor is about 1 metric ton. It's about 1 metric ton. It's a little underneath. It's like 980 kilonewtons or something, if I'm looking at this right. That is an extremely light motor for what it is. That's, dude. So Hellfish, what could it do? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's 445 second specific impulse, not 462. But still, actually, it's probably going to get it up there, to be honest with you. One of those on the back of an EUS could probably get you your 45 metric tons TLI, meaning you could probably put a lander in there. If we could get the thrust to weight ratio up a little bit more and just up the delta V just a smidge more, you could probably put a lander, a gigantic lander inside of the... Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay, look. If an SLS Block 1B could move an Orion, oh man, that's going to be close. Can you explain how to read this chart? It's a subway map. Find your start's on Earth and find your destination. Tally up all the delta V. That's how much delta V you need to get there. So for instance, a translunar injection, TLI burn is 3,200. 3.26 kilometers a second. 680 to circularize in low lunar. Okay, let me put it to you like this, guys. If SLS can send Orion and a lander of some type up there, and it can successfully do the 3.26 kilometer a second delta V translunar injection burn without running out of fuel, your lander can do your circularization. If the lander on board, because you have that increased throw weight, because our proverbial SLS Block 1B is a B3U instead of 4RL10s, right? If your lander does this burn, right, with the Orion module in tow, the lander could get Orion and itself to low lunar for nothing. Basically, a little bit of extra delta V. But you have about 20 tons for a lander with SLS in this design. If you could stretch it, if you could get SLS with an EUS and twin B3Us, you might be able to squeeze the performance out to get 50 metric tons to translunar injection. If it could do 50 metric tons translunar injection, you could absolutely... Orion's fine. Or you don't need to worry about Orion not getting into low lunar. Frick rectilinear halo, you could go right to low lunar orbit with your lander doing the circularization as was intended during the Constellation program. Yeah. Yeah, totally doable. Yeah, not too far off. I mean, that would require them to change something about us SLS, but yeah, it's doable. If you could get 50 metric tons, and I think you might be able to do that. What is the, let's look at RL10C mass. An RL10C is 317 kilos, and if you have 4 of them, a B3U is lighter. B3 is about 900 kilonewtons. You have 4 RL10s at 317 kilograms a pop, or about 700 pounds. It's 2,800 pounds, or 1,200 kilos. Interesting. Doesn't SLS throw its payload into MEO instead of LEO? It can do eccentric if you're just launching an Orion capsule tray, but otherwise, no. Aren't they RL10Es now? They're 3D printed RL10s, which is derived from the RL10C. They're called RL10CXs. CX is the E, if I'm remembering right. It's 230 kilos a pop. The EUS is using C3s at 230. 230, yeah, 230 times 4. So actually, it's about the same. But a single B3U would make 9 times that amount of power right there at 445. Trade-offs. Yeah, it's still not going to get you exactly what you want. Doesn't the new B3 surpass the J2? It's pretty much a J2 at this point in terms of performance, not in terms of engine cycle, but I mean, guys, if we just, like I said, if you just put Blue Origin's, if you put Glen Stage 2 on top of SLS, yeah, you good. That's fine. It'll work. It'll work great, actually. Just saying. How complex would it be to refactor the system for the B3U in terms of plumbing and other changes? It'd be a little difficult. We'll be hanging at grills having breakfast when Newgland comes home. That's right. Way higher TWR, Aurora, yeah. That TWR is what you need. You need a higher energy trajectory if you're going to do lunar exploration with people on board. You need the high energy to get a more delta V but less transit time burn. And if you could, like, okay, say like Blue Moon, say they put Blue Moon Mark II on top of the EUS with an Orion. The EUS can shoot it on TLI, right? It could probably even do it with RL10s, to be honest with you. If Blue Origin can make the Blue Moon Mark II lander have about 5 to 6 kilometers a second delta V, Blue Moon Mark II could circularize Orion in low lunar. It could circularize in low lunar. Easy. And then Orion can make it to low lunar, and then you just Blue Moon Mark II all the way down to the surface. Blue Moon Mark II is basically your Altair at this point in this architecture, dude. That'll work. That'll work. That might even work with the 4RL10 EUS. That might even... Hang on. Blue Moon Mark II Delta V. I'll be damned. That's what they're doing. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do, dude. Huh. When do you think NG3 will launch? Probably February, Hendo. It's 25 tons of Orion. So here's what I'm thinking. See, Kraken. Okay, so 1730 times 2, right? Approximate. 1730 times 2 is about 3,400. 3,460, right? So let's round that up just for margins, rendezvous proximity operations. Let's round that up to 4 kilometers a second down to the surface and back from low lunar, right? That's still 1,800 meters a second delta V. That is more than enough for that thing to be able to circularize with an Orion attached to it to account for the dry mass of Orion. It's more than enough. I was talking to Alex about this the other day. We have little chit chats from time to time, me and Alex over at NSF. Yeah, that's very doable. That's very doable. How much is the mass? I don't know, Fox. But it doesn't matter. I mean, if Blue is planning for 5,800 meters a second delta V, that doesn't matter too much. I mean, you could extrapolate mass from that because you know it's engines, right? It's using, what is it using? The BE7, right? So, I mean, like I said, 5,800 is a gross over, that's grossly over engineered. But that's because it's like that, so New Glenn could shoot it there in one shot. If you put this lander inside of the universal stage adapter, if you put this inside of the Block 1B SLS with the universal stage adapter, see this? That's the USA. If it fits in there, you can get to the surface. It will get Orion into low lunar. Orion's surface module is about 1,800 meters a second delta V. So if your lander is circularizing you out at the moon, right? Orion has plenty of delta V to be able to punch out a lunar orbit and go back to Earth. From low lunar, you only need about 700 meters a second delta V to break the moon, to break out of the moon's gravitational pull. You do that with the right ejection. See, you don't need to do the 3260 and you don't need to do the 9400. That's what the heat shield is for. The aero braking will take up this delta V. That's why Orion's heat shield is so ridiculously important. Is this a better option than the Lockheed proposal? Yes. The Lockheed proposal will work if Lockheed had a lander. We don't even know what Lockheed's solution is. This is way better. Dude, an even crazier thing would be like you launch this, you could launch a New Glenn and you could refuel the stupid thing with the mother fricker. They're gonna do that, aren't they? They're gonna do that. That's what they're doing. This lander requires on-orbit refueling. If it's launched on New Glenn, RJ, yes. So you're planning on a heat shield taking care of over 12 kilometers a second delta V on reentry? Yes. It worked during Apollo. Why is that a big deal? Or that's fine. That's what they're building Orion to do. You could reuse the lander, Tessa, if you shot a New Glenn tanker out there. Yeah, Aurora, I know. When you look at the Delta V map, it looks a little strange, but yes. What would that plan require besides Blue Lander 2 and quick launches of SLS and Glenny? Mirbon, you don't even need to do a New Glenn. You could just put this on top of SLS Block 1B on like Artemis 4, and you could land in one shot. Son of a gun. Huh. Hey, Petrie, what's up, man? Dude, I got all the holes drilled for the trunk. You can kind of see them in the trunk. I got all of them drilled. 5/16 holes. 250 of them. That was fun. Not. How many new Glens to refuel for the next landing, though? I don't know. 2 to 3, maybe. Is the Block 1B even in production yet? It is, but they won't show it. They won't show us, but well, they say it is, but they won't show us. You think Jared would do that for real? Changing the architecture again? Dude, you don't even need to change anything. This is just Blue Moon Mark II in an SLS Block 1B with a universal stage adapter. That'll do it. It'll do it. So adding Orion adds about 55 to 60% more mass to Blue Moon. So you're getting about 65% of the Delta V. Yeah, exactly. For the circ burn. That's what I'm thinking. Fox, that's what I mean. It has almost 6 kilometers a second Delta V. It has 6 kilometers a second Delta V. It can handle that 680. No problem. And then still have enough to come up and come back down, or go down and come back up easily with with Orion attached. Dump Orion in low lunar, down to the surface, back up, back to Orion, and go. That's totally doable. Yeah, dude. No, that's absolutely a thing. The numbers fit. The numbers fit. Damn, dude. That would make it so you could do Apollo style missions with SLS. You could put, and not only could you do Apollo style missions, you could go anywhere. You could go anywhere with that thing. Any thoughts on the game tonight? What game? Which game? Are you talking football? Who's playing? Oh, Canes Bruins. Go Bruins. Did Blue plan this or did they get lucky? But first, Rockets. Nice, Fargon. I have a feeling that they planned it, Fluffy. The SLS tower would need to fuel the lander too, right? Yeah, I don't see why that's that big of a deal. Adding another umbilical, no problem. You're pumping hydrolocks up there anyway for the EUS. Interesting. All right, cool. Little brain exercise there. So check this out, guys. We're gonna move to the next thing. Here, take a look. There is a we got a I can't play the audio. We have a highlight video from the Viasat 3 F2 mission on the Atlas V. This launch did happen pretty much right after New Glenn, so it really didn't. Not a lot of people stayed up for it, but it did go, and it was a good mission. I stayed up to watch this dang thing, and no one was here. Featuring the fire alarm. That's right. That's right. Ah, yeah, baby. It's still using Russian engines. Yeah, they bought all of them. They're using the remaining supply that they have. They should get forward load reactor, CFLR jettison. They didn't show it. Good staging, good upper stage ignition. They didn't show any of that either. All right, cool. So speaking of missions, there was the Sentinel 6B mission over the weekend. Here. Interesting. I just saw something weird. Last non-low Earth orbit Atlas. Oh crap, you're right. The rest of it is just Project Kuiper and Starliner missions. So here we go. Here's the liftoff from Vandenberg last night.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9.
Hey,
Go
Josh.
SpaceX, go Sentinel 6B.
Sentinel 6B rising. Extending
Oh, excuse me. Amazon Leo.
nearly 4 decades of the precise sea level record from space.
Okay. Petrie, hey, thanks for becoming a flight controller, man. Right on. All right, so that's the launch. Here, let me get you to the good stuff here. Check this out. Falcon 9 did do a landing at landing zone 4 here. There it is. This was booster 1097 on just its 3rd mission. Oh, goalie, I'll show that. Yeah, just a little baby. And check this out. They did get a deploy here of the Sentinel 6B. So what is the Sentinel? Sentinel program are
Less than 10 seconds.
sea level and climate monitoring satellites. Yep. There you go. What a view. You used to have Viasat. I still have the electronics. They called me to try and get them back, but you were like, meh. Follow on to the Jason series. That's right. Yeah, Sentinel. The first Sentinel mission was back in 2020 with the Sentinel 1B launch on a Falcon 9. That was the Michael Feierlich mission. November of 2020, if I'm remembering right. I remember the NASA cast was just as cringe as it is now. Yep. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Did you see that they made a 6-7 joke during that webcast? I did see that, and I will never make another one after that. That when the boosters in ignition, when that guy makes a 6-7 joke, I'm okay. I'm done. I don't need to make that joke anymore. Yeah, or ever. Falcon 9's logo looks so 2008. Really? Speaking of RTLS, news on the new landing zones? Not much. All right. Got that. Okay, we're just going to kind of go around the horn here. So actually, you know what? Let's check to see what missions we have teed up for this week. Let's go to next space flight and see while we're here. There's a Rocket Lab haste mission. Better coverage than Boogly. Boogland. Nah, anyway. Starlink, unknown. Transporter 15 on Wednesday. Starlink, unknown. Spaceward. Habitat Nano from the Alcantara Launch Center in Maranhão, Brazil. Interesting. Not much high profile launches as last week, but still good. 6-7 is the thing that truly made you feel low. At least I discovered it via South Park. Yeah. 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 Korean company, I think. Yep. They're launching from Brazil. Yep. Interesting. All right, there was something else. What else did I want to show you guys? Oh, yeah. So, check this out. Kiko Donchev, who's the VP of launching at SpaceX, posted this. The SpaceX Starship pad at 39A is really starting to take shape. The team moved and stacked the launch mount to the pad in a little under 2 weeks ago. Can't wait for the first V3 Starship launch, and soon after the first Starship launch from the Cape. I know you don't cover China spaceflight, but there's currently 3 Taikonauts up at the space station without a lifeboat. The other 3 came back down on the newly launched capsule. Yeah, Shenzhou 20. Dude, they gotta... I wish them all the best. You don't want to lose people. That's no good. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. So does it mean that Flight 13 will be from the Cape? I don't think so. But I do have something you guys might appreciate. This picture is inside of the trench looking up at the lift when they put the OLM on the pad. Here, look at this. Look at this Honda. Oh boy. Wow. I got this time lapse from a guy who knows a guy from a guy who knows a thing or two about cranes. Dude, this part where they move it forward. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Dude, look. You see how as they move the boom forward, they move the derrick backwards. So the boom goes forward and the derrick goes backward. So the counterweight maintains the proper moment to keep the crane balanced. Watch the weights. He'll pick it up, turn the thing, pick it up again, turn it again, right? And when the boom goes forward, right, move forward, boom goes down, derrick goes down, boom goes down, derrick goes down. See, they move further away from each other. That's to keep the counterbalance as they move it over the OLM. Or move it over the flame trench. Move the OLM over the flame trench. That's cool, dude. Really cool. So, crane parts, because I'm going to talk about it because it's crane parts. So you have the boom, the derrick, and the mast right here. The derrick and the boom have a set of pulleys up there that they can use to change the angle. But there's also an angle with the derrick and the mast here as well. And then you just have straight counterweights over here. Man, that's a lot of counterweight. 3 million pounds of counterweight on the wagon alone. Yikes. Dude, look at it moving around. It's like, okay. I like that. I like it when they move the derrick. The mast is controlling the angle of the derrick, and the derrick controls the angle of the boom. That's cool, man. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive stuff. So it's all about the angle of the dangle. Yep, you got it. 3 million pounds on that thing, dude. That's on the wagon. The wagon is this piece at the back that all the extra counterweight is hanging off of. Hey, Grab Shark, what's going on? One crane did the lift, dude. You've got to be kidding me. Imagine setting that crane up for like a month, all for a single lift. Yeah, what are you going to do? So, a little bit of reference here. See those little slits in the side of the OLM? That is a doorway. That's a person-sized doorway. That is where people fit through. We are good at dealing with people and putting them in the square hole. And then Kiko has a picture here from looking up the trench, man. Damn. Josh, you got to play some KSP this weekend. I got to make a jet that I think turned out pretty okay. Nice, dude. That's crazy. People don't fit in the square holes. That's right. They do fit in the square hole. I love the Stack Me heart. That's the same one, dude. Yeah, see? Look at that. The little holes on the side. That's a human-sized hole. I've also seen that this OLM is way more completed than the other one. When they moved the OLM to pad 2 at Boca Chica, it was for the most part just an empty shell. Like, it didn't have anything on it. They installed all the pieces on it after. Right? This one is way more completed than the last. Here, this is a picture from RGV Aerial. Take a look. They didn't have any of this stuff on it. They didn't have all the pieces inside. Like, it was, when they stacked this thing, it was not nearly as completed as the one that they stacked on 39A. It's pretty crazy. In before field expedient Starship pads. Yeah. Florida Starship first half of 2026. Summertime for a Starship from the Cape. That's my guess. But yeah, crazy. You guys want to see something a little weird? Check this out. This is a screen cap from Starbase Live from my buddy Matt. Take a look. Oh! 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 Look how they massacred my boy. Man, they are making quick work of this thing. This is the first Starship launch pad. They are just absolutely going to town on this thing. Dude, you want to hear something crazy? They already dug up all the deluge systems. There's no shower plate down there anymore. It's all gone. They got rid of all of it. It's totally gone. I mean, we could go back and look at RGV and look, there ain't nothing there. It's gone. Look at this. Dude, they sent, how many guys did they send up there with oxyacetylene torches to scrap this damn thing? The shower plate is still there. It's just covered in dirt. Really? Okay, cool. All right, good. I was going to say, how the heck did that? I must have missed that. All right, cool. I'm wrong. I'm happy to be wrong again. Because I was like, how did they get that out of there so quickly? That was extremely fast. Are you sure? Wait a minute, fellas. Are you sure? You sure about that? It looks like it's gone. They said just me. I mean, see the steel? No, I don't. Elon had an idea in the shower yesterday, and poof, the launch pad is deconstructed. Hi, what's that? That's what's left of the first launch pad. It's gone. Man, I remember when they put this stuff up. Do you guys remember when they put this stuff up? That wasn't that long ago. What was that, 2022? That wasn't that long ago, man. It's already gone. That's crazy to me, man. Are you guys sure? It looks like they dug it up. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. She kind of fun. Oh, wait. No, they'll... Oh, yeah, okay. Where did all the dirt come from, though? The berm? Oh, the berm. Yeah. Okay. All right. The band? The band! Yeah, where would anybody get dirt? All right, when you say it like that, man, jeez. Anyway. Here, this is what I wanted to show you. Texas, it's mostly dirt. Yeah. Wondering why they would be protecting the shower head like that. They probably just don't want to drive equipment on it. It might. Well, I'm not going to say break it, but it might get stuck. Jeff Bezos has created a new AI startup where he will be co-CEO. It's called Project Prometheus and has received $6.2 billion in funding, some from Bezos himself. The startup is going to build AI products for engineering and manufacturing in fields like computers, aerospace, and automobiles. The company already has 100 staff, including researchers from Meta, OpenAI, and Google DeepMind. Okay. AI startups so hot right now. Can we start an AI startup here and have our AI startup just write scripts for KRPC? Train it on playing Kerbal so we know where it's going to crack and strike something? Can we do, you think somebody would buy that? But why male large language models? Are you serious? I just told you that a moment ago. Yeah, we'll call it Kerbal AI. No, we'll call it MechJeb. That's actually a good idea. We'll call it Marvin. Yes. Marvin will just play video games for you so you don't have to. Jeb GPT. I mean, if we trained a large language model on every one of my streams, it could get to be a pretty good Kerbal player pretty quickly, right? I'm just saying. Already exists, I'm afraid. I don't give a frick. What did that stop Elon from founding X.AI when freaking OpenAI already existed? I mean, it was also founded by him. Definitely not your Battlefield streams. You could train. Would that count as hacking? Serious, if you trained a large language model on like yes, 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 no. Tool usage. Yeah, well, by that logic, I shouldn't be playing Battlefield. Because by that logic, every time I play Battlefield, it's cheating because I'm a huge tool. So, tell me another one. Boom, cell phone. Now what? Didn't expect that one. Flawless logic. Yeah, right? Yeah. It makes sense. All right, it makes sense, dudes. Third-party software is banned. Okay, all right, fine. We train a large language model and then we have it push the buttons and have a mechanical hand controlling the mouse. Technically okay. No external software. I'm using a keyboard and mouse just like everybody else. You know, get Optimus here. That's been done too. So what? So what? We'll train the large language model using my shuttle. Yep. Hey, look, man, some of these ideas that people are putting out there, they're getting millions of dollars for crappy AI ideas. I have good AI ideas, all right? At least they would be fun to watch. I saw a system that shocked a person's muscles to give them perfect aim. Definitely seen that one too. That's the problem. You only get funded for crap AI ideas. Okay, we will train a large language model to say skibbity toilet every time I say hello on stream. Is that crappy enough for you? But to be able to jump over a metal fence, probably not. That's impossible. Challenge impossible. Shut up and take my money. Don't Twitch chatbots already do that? Yeah. That's the slogan. At least it'll be fun to watch. Yeah. Something tells me training AI on how to shoot things in a video game is not the smartest idea.
I'm in space.
Then again... Oh, God, Nova, no. Nova. Better if it said 6-7. U.S. military is already teaching AI how to fight. I'm telling you, man. That freaking Black Hawk, that drone Black Hawk is going to land outside some, like terrorist's house, right? And the front's going to open. Instead of like a Jeep coming out, there's just going to be a bunch of Optimuses with M7s just bing, bing, and they all have aimbot. That's scary. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Hollywood did that already. They did do that already, man. Why use arms? Integrate the weapons. So you could just make weapons. You could just make more weapons. Oh, Roger. Yep. Please make them say that. Please make them say that. Yeah, man, Fu, that's what I mean. Like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. More's bad, okay. Yeah, that's you should play DCS or not, I don't care. Okay. Alright, I won't. Okay. Anyway, check this out. Relativity, who's working on their Terran R rocket, is announcing they're expanding access to orbit with SES. They're proud to announce the new Terran R launches with SES satellites, advancing global connectivity through next-generation communication satellites. Relativity's starting to get customers for Terran R. That's actually pretty cool. Would you recommend Anno? I haven't played it enough to really say one way or the other. Vast has merch now, by the way. Do they come complete with sleeve tats, or? No? All right. Where's your merch? I didn't get it. Vast. We love occlusion maps. That's kind of neat. Dude, I still can't believe this. I can't believe that they knocked the leg over already. Guys, this kind of reinforces my theory, dude. I think they're going to get rid of all the legs, right? And I think pad 1 is going to be a catch pad for now. I think they're trying to get rid of this thing as soon as possible. Maybe they covered up the plate down there because who cares? You don't need it. Just get rid of the pad and get rid of the legs, you know? I'm sorry, but didn't Relativity have one launch and fail right after stage set? They did. And then they abandoned Terran 1. They're the only company to launch something once and be like, never mind. Send you the view of Labs Cam had on it. I think this is good enough, dude. We don't... I want to show more NSF stuff, man. Ugh. It's like this with other big demo sites. They pour the sand, put dirt over everything to avoid splashing all over the concrete. I got you. Do they have to dig up the pilings eventually? Yes. Only launch once, then go. Never mind. Who funded them? The British? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. How protecting the shower head makes sense. Yeah, I agree. LabsView, you could see the opposite leg hit as it falls. Fine! Of course, how selfish of me. Let's do all the things that you want to do. Oh yeah, it did hit it. Boink. Oh yeah. Damn, dude. I can't believe how fast they took this thing apart. I thought it was gonna take some time. That steel is thick. They must have been using acetylene torches with the oxygen, the oxy like all the way up to make it as hot as possible. They must be running the acetylene torches super lean. Island, you got a quick question. Not sure how to ask, so I posted a picture in KSP on Discord. Could you check? Yeah, sure. What is this? Earth polar orbit. Does the orbit change as the Earth goes around the sun, or does it stay in place? Ha 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 ha! Good question. Good question. Chat, do you know? I know. Who thinks it's the first one? Who thinks it's the second one? You think it's the first? Some of you thinks it's the second? Well, you're both wrong. It's both of them. Yeah, you could do either one. So, this type of orbit is a sun-synchronous orbit. That's what an SSO orbit does. It utilizes the non-uniform gravitational pull of the Earth, called precession. Because the Earth's center of gravity is not in its geometric center, the Earth weeble-wobbles around violent. That produces a perturbing effect because of a non-uniform gravitational pull. That resulting orbital perturbation is called precession. If you launch into a polar orbit, or a highly inclined retrograde orbit, 97-degree inclination, you can utilize Earth's non-uniform gravitational pull to shift your orbit and basically keep it 90 degrees to... You could basically keep your longitude of ascending node more or less in the same spot. Meaning that you are always... Your orbit reference frame is always synchronized to the sun. It's called the sun-synchronous orbit. Simultaneously, you can get put into an orbit like this. An orbit won't change unless acted. So you could do either one of these. This is a sun-synchronous orbit, what you described here. You have to be in a very specific type of orbit to get this to happen. But that's what an SSO orbit is. Other orbits basically do that. Yeah, that's right. In Kerbal, that's what happens over there. This happens in KSP. So, it's not option A, it's not option B. It's both of them. It depends on the orbit, if you really want to know. What decides between them? Whatever your perturbing force is. If you're in about a 550 kilometer, 97 degree inclined orbit, your orbit's going to do option A. If you were in a 1,000 kilometer 97 degree inclined orbit, you will not do this as much. You could, but it won't turn you as much. It'll only turn you a quarter way around, like every year. So yeah, Violent, either one can happen, dude. What would be really cool would be a sun-synchronous ring station, but at 90 degrees to the sun, so you get 100% solar all the time. I don't see why you couldn't do that, yeah. You would just have to have it on the Terminator line. That should work. I don't see why that wouldn't. Yeah, it's called the terminus orbit. That's right. Yeah, that's definitely doable, Tessa. Is this also true for other planets? Yeah, more or less. The rate of precession really depends on the gravitational acceleration of the celestial body that you're around, if you really want to know. You could do something like this on the moon. That's what a rectilinear halo orbit is. A rectilinear halo orbit, the one that they want to put Gateway in, stays 90 degrees to the sun. Well, not the sun, because it's a two-body thing between the Earth and the moon. It stays 90 degrees. So if this is Earth and this is the moon, the rectilinear halo orbit would stay like this. It would stay like that, and its reference frame would always have the Earth on one side as it goes around. The Earth would always be on your left. It really depends. Every celestial body has precession to a point, to a degree, yes. I mean, you could pretty much do it anywhere. Yeah, that's the stuff. That's stuff that Kerbal does not teach you, Violent. Kerbal won't teach you to do that because Kerbal doesn't have n-body physics. You can't do orbital precession in KSP. Yeah, Aqualex. I mean, if Tesla was talking about a ring over the Terminator, yeah, that's no. I'm talking a space station in a terminus orbit, totally doable. Yeah. Yeah, if you download a mod called Principia, you can learn about n-body physics simulations. Yeah, it's tough, man. So yeah, Violent, either one of those can happen. You can do either one. It depends. Depends on what you're orbiting around. But you can use precession to change your orbital, what's called an orbital reference frame. Basically, where your orbit is in relation to the planet. I saw you play KSP earlier when fast forwarding on Minmus, and that's where I got my question from. Yeah, so when we were fast forwarding on Minmus in that polar orbit, you noticed that my reference frame was turned. We were staying 90 degrees to the terminus, but we were rotating around Minmus. Yeah, I thought somebody might ask a question about that, but yeah, cool. Hey, Karmas, what's up? Yeah, that's called perturbing forces. That's perturbing forces due to orbital precession. It happens. Happens all the time. Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's a big wobbly jello mold of nickel and iron. Mostly nickel and iron, actually. And it just kind of weeble wobbles around. It jiggles. It's like a spinning jello mold. It kind of jiggles at the center. And you can use that little jiggly force to actually move a satellite around. Pretty cool, huh? No, I was meaning a station that was a ring that orbited around the Terminator. You want a halo around the Terminator line, right? Yeah, Earth's gravitational pull is not uniform. It's not completely uniform. Don't get me wrong. Pretty much for the vast majority of anywhere on this planet, it's 9.81 meters a second per second, or 32 feet per second per second. It'll vary just by a little bit. Not enough for you and I to notice. Really, you would have to have very, very sensitive equipment to be able to detect it. But for a satellite, you don't need a lot to change a satellite's orbit. Because when you're up in space, you don't need to worry about drag, and you're going fast enough to get out of gravity. You're in a microgravity environment. Just a little touch is enough to move it. Is enough to change its orbit. Once again, that's called a perturbing force. Oh yeah, that's absolutely a thing. Yeah, sun synchronous. That's where spy satellites are, for what it's worth. You ever seen the movies where they're like, enhance, 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 right? And it's like the satellite that zooms in on the guy like running around and stuff, and like they can read the paper that you're reading and stuff like that. Those are sun synchronous. Those are the satellites that they're talking about. That's where the spy satellites are. They're in sun synchronous orbits. Because a spy satellite doesn't do much when it's dark out. You can't really see much you can't really see much when it's dark out. They're in sun synchronous. It's better when you have backlighting. You know, the camera works better when there's a flasher pointed in the same direction. I'm talking about just like a regular camera. When the camera's going into the light, it doesn't work as well. I no comment. They can't see at night. Who built the pyramids and how? The Egyptians, with slave labor. Like, why do people think, oh, I can't move it? They can't move it. Yeah, you could do a lot when you have 50,000 slaves. You know, I'm just saying. On the time scale of human history, slavery was a thing till about 200 years ago, give or take. Like, actually, it's about 175, maybe in change. You know, that was like a normal occurrence until pretty recent. Still exists in places around the world. Still screwed up. People like that should be shot. I don't think that needs to be said, but also, you could do whatever you want when the Pharaoh says, you guys build that. Aliens make more sense. Okay. Apparently they didn't use slaves since it was skilled labor. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go to the next topic. Guys, hot take here. Slavery is bad. It's not that's not a hot take. That's not a hot take. It's just bad. You don't even, I know the sarcasm for the reals. I get it, but also, somebody might actually think you're, never mind. That's bad. You shouldn't do that. Damn it. Big, true. So check this out. This is an X account that's Audrey Decker. I'm not too familiar with this account. Check this out. Look, Space, an emerging tech reporter for Politico. So, SpaceX's new tentative schedule for HLS per an internal document I obtained. Prop transfer, June of 2026. Uncrewed lunar landing, June 2027. Crewed lunar landing, September of 2028. MSC tonight or doubleheader on Wednesday? I'll get back to you. So apparently there's an internal, I don't want to read a Politico thing. SpaceX is planning to tell NASA it won't be able to land humans on the moon until at least the end of 2028, more than a year after what the White House wanted. Company is under pressure to ready its Starship mega rocket for a lunar landing after the president made the mission a political priority in his first term. Oh, he's the one that made it a political priority. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, it's his fault making NASA political. Politico. Nice. All right. But SpaceX is pushing off the launch plan for mid-2027 to September 2028, according to an internal document marked SpaceX proprietary information and obtained by Politico. It is not surprising that SpaceX would miss its most ambitious launch timelines, but even its revised targets will be hard to meet given Starship's complex design and sheer size. 2028 objectives are very aggressive given SpaceX's testing accomplishments so far, according to one congressional aide granted anonymity to discuss the internal plan. Oh my god, all right, I can't read this crap anymore. It is so. Yeah, ARJ, that implies that NASA, a federal entity, has not been bound by politics. Until the current president came along. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Try again. Try again. What's the International Space Station? What's Apollo-Soyuz? What's the Apollo program? What's that? What's that? Those weren't politically motivated? Give me a friggin' break. Just, I'm sorry. I'm getting tired of the rhetoric, okay? That's all. Good or bad for the president, I don't care. I'm just getting tired of this. It's getting very annoying, okay? It's just tiresome, that's all. SpaceX, according to the document, will conduct an in-space transfer propellant from one Starship to the other in June of 2026. A crucial technology for its lunar plans. The company is also planning for an uncrewed lunar landing in June of 2027. If all goes well, SpaceX will land boots on the moon in September of 2028. So far, SpaceX's mega rocket has not completed a fully successful orbital flight, a baseline for more ambitious space operations and a necessary step to achieve in-space refueling. SpaceX expects to incorporate the new dates into an integrated master schedule it will give NASA in December. After that, the company plans to work with NASA to change its existing contract and make the new schedule official. These dates are not approved contract dates, the document cautions. Someone's aide is probably getting fired. Guys, this is a tentative document. Really, SpaceX's schedule is always in flux. There's no way that these... I mean, I'm about to say those dates. There's no way those dates won't stick, but at least we know what they're internally targeting. I suppose that's kind of cool. Sounds about right according to what Sean Duffy said about SpaceX. I mean, SpaceX has always been targeting 2028. You know why? Because that's what the contract kind of asked for. The contract that they won. Just saying. Even if the document is 100% legit, which it sounds like it is because other outfits are picking up the story, plans and other things change pretty frequently, so it could be out of date by now. It probably is, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's all tentative. There's no way that any of that is gonna stick. Weren't those dates just years away? With a whole year to schedule more, with a whole year to schedule, it's more likely to happen the year projected. Yeah. Yeah. How does stage separation work? On what rocket? Obsessive. On Starship, how does stage separation work? They fire the engines and then just let it go. It's called hot staging. On Falcon 9, they use pneumatic push rods to push the second stage away from the first stage. There's 4 of them. There's 3 on the outside, and then there's 1 in the center. 1 in the center pushes up onto the Merlin vacuum engine, and that makes it so the Merlin vacuum engine kind of stays more or less centered when it leaves Falcon 9's inner stage, so it doesn't tap the sides. Is it a rod pushing or is it air? It's a pneumatically actuated rod, so it is air pushing a rod pushing the second stage. Hey, Outdoorsman, what's going on? Why couldn't they land in late 2027 due to it being tested in June? I don't know. Guys, yeah. That's why I didn't want to read this. That article is, like... SpaceX is using an iterative design philosophy. It's iterative, meaning that it can change. If a mission goes well, they can accelerate. They're flexible. I've talked many times about this. They're flexible. It kind of depends on how the next test flight goes, you know? Now, Block 2, they had a lot of bad test flights, and that did put them a little bit behind, but they can also speed up. SpaceX can slow down or speed up. Like, they can kind of switch gears if they need to. If you compare that to other more rigid engineering constructs like this, for instance, this is footage from Jerry Pike. There's not much margin for error. It just happens when it happens, you know? And you're not going one mission to the next. It's, you know, you get a landing on the second try with this. Also, this is drone footage from Jerry Pike, which is just, I don't know how he got so close to Jacqueline here, but all right. Jeepers creepers, look at that monster. Yeah, I don't know how he got that close, man, but all right. Why do those push rods stay up? I think those are guide rods, not push rods. I think there's a push rod in between each of those guide rods. Jeepers creepers. Yeah, dude, it looks brand new. That's what I still can't get over. There's something going on in front of the wing here. But other than that, man, yeah, some weird stuff happened over here. I'd be curious to see what that is, but I mean, even Blue Origin's renders had soot on the side of the booster, like their renders of the thing landing had soot everywhere and nothing. Wasn't the landing too perfect in the middle? I mean, it was much better than all early SpaceX landings, right? Yes and no. How big is that ship versus Falcon 9's drone ship? Jacqueline's a fair bit. Well, actually, it's a little bit bigger. It's not that much bigger, but it's pretty big. Did Blue Origin land a rocket on the drone ship? They did. That says something about the benefits of methane versus RP1. Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a moment. Why did they slew the rocket onto the barge? Jeff Bezos said in a post showing the landing footage that it's pretty conservatively dialed in. They wanted to, when it's coming down, they wanted to keep it away from the drone ship, and then they wanted to hover the sucker over and land it. It's not very efficient, but he said they'll dial it in over time, which tells me that this mission was really just get it back. Just get the damn thing back. Who cares if it's inefficient? Just get it home. And that seems to be a mission success thus far. I also, guys, another thing to take into account with that landing, they had the margin to do it because Escapade is not, the Escapade satellites are not big. That is nothing for New Glenn. That's nothing. That is not a lot. Yeah, you had the margin was there, so it was just get the thing home. They'll dial it in over time when this booster starts doing more work, and I do think it will do more work. I really don't. I get it. Looks can be deceiving and stuff, but I really don't see anything wrong with this damn thing. Like, I mean, obviously you can't see in it, right? And I can't look at the B4s and stuff, but that thing does not look to be in that bad a condition. It's not banged up. I don't see any stress cracks or anything. There's that weird stuff going on around the left wing, but that's about it. The museum took damage from Newglands. It broke a few windows at the hangar. Nice. That's awesome. Why is there no soot? Methane. It's using, well, liquefied natural gas, which is mostly methane with a little bit of propane and butane. Yeah, it burns very clear, especially with the oxygen-rich stage combustion that these engines have. Yeah, that thing flew, dude. It landed. You want to see Violent? Here, I'll show you. Here, take a look, man. What's the plan for the week? That's some high quality propane, I tell you what. The plan for the week is, so I played Kerbal today. I want to play Anno tomorrow. And then Kerbal and working on the car possibly on Wednesday. And then Anno on Thursday. And then Kerbal on Friday. Which Anno? Anno 117 Pax Romana. BF6 racing. Racing is done for the season. Friday night racing's done. So we have an open after hours slot on Friday after Flame Trench. I'm not sure what we're going to do. Yeah, I'll think about it. When are you going to go back to Workers? I don't feel like playing Workers right now. Yeah, I don't feel like it. Dude, I played nothing but Workers for like a year and a half straight. I'm alright. I'm good for now. More Battlefield? You guys want more Battlefield? Really? Alright. Are you ever going to be able to help you with your PC? If not, it's cool, but I do need help. Dude, I'm not the best person for troubleshooting. You could jump into my Discord and ask around there if you want. Here. Discord is like it's the chat where... Does that thing work? There you go. Click on that link. Discord is basically the chat where when the streams aren't live. Inverter, 94-month resub. That's the problem. Your Discord has locked you out. So make a new Discord. Basically multiplayer for after hours. No. There was a slightly less stressful version of MSC. If there was a slightly less stressful version of MSC, that would be perfect. Yeah. I have to make a new email and I already have 3. Brother, I'm not Discord troubleshooting, you know what I mean? Like... I mean, what... Dude, I hate troubleshooting things on stream, dude. That's a huge pet peeve of mine. I can't stand it because everybody's an expert, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know exactly what you need help with, but yeah. Can you make Friday nights a new game Friday? I don't know. Did you see this? Space Systems Command expands space vehicle processing capacity. What is this about? Command recently awarded the second National Security Space Launch Space Vehicle Processing Commercial Solutions Opening CSO contract to Blue Origin for $78.25 million. Any news on Isaacman? No, nothing. The second CSO award reflects our continued commitment to meet both national security and commercial launch requirements. Oh. This is a contract for Blue to build out vehicle processing for the Space Force. Interesting. Man, Blue's just nabbing up contracts left and right, dude. Interesting. What's this one? A new animation from Astrolab. Flex is ready to take on the lunar surface. With a 2-ton payload capacity, our Flex rover is prepared to support the needs of the lunar economy and construct necessary lunar infrastructure. Flex's airless tires have survived multiple tests in environments analogous to the moon's harsh conditions, processing the ability to navigate terrain up to a 26-degree slope. Astrotech and Blue Origin will process national security payloads now. It's for payload processing. Yep. New map and mods and vehicles and guns for tomorrow's BF6 update. Did they really name a map? They really named a map Eastwood in Battlefield? Huh. Alright. From serving as a transport for astronauts to autonomously deploying scientific payloads to laying out cable to support power infrastructure, Flex is flexible. Our lunar rover is up for whatever is needed to help humanity not just survive, but thrive on the moon. Ooh, what's this?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Nope, can't play the music. Dude. So Spartan, 71-month resub. Oh yeah, this thing, Astrolab's Flex rover. Yeah, cool. Hey, that's just Moon Crane. They stole my idea. These fargan ice holes. Ow. Is that Blue Moon? Oh yeah, it's Blue Moon. It's Blue Moon Mark 1. Cool. Look at that. What if they simply watch you for your ideas? Cool. Great reference. He stole my idea. Dude, Starship payload bay doors. Oh, very nice. I want it. I love to sing. By the way, I have a recording of Starship's talented payload bay doors. Nah. All right, sorry. So that's cool. Flex rover's pretty neat. I like that Starship HLS demo. Open the payload bay doors, Hal. Yes. Yes, do that. To be fair, I'm personally looking forward to orbital tugs. Yes. Isabel, I think that's the first CG HLS video I've seen deploying actual payloads. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is cool. It's also kind of empty. Commercial! Commercial! Sick. They were probably watching you back in the day. That's how they came up with the space shuttle. Yeah, that's how that happened. Sure. Hit me with those laser beams. Sorry. I'm having way too much fun with this. This is great. All right. Really informative space news, I know. So that's cool. That's coming from that's Astrolab, yeah. Good stuff. Hit me with those laser beams. I love that song, man. Remember when we used to groove that on stream? Can't do it no more. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Hit me, 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 hit me with those laser beams. That's a great song, man. Even though it's just DMB, but hey, whatever. Add helicopter noises, it'll be fine. Yep. Oh, hey, the Guppy took flight again after a major maintenance overhaul. Cool. You feeling okay over there? No. Starship is really bottom heavy at the point it's at the moon, no? Yeah, no, not really. Transformative content, that's right. An earlier comment got me on a rabbit hole. On low-high energy transfers, there's an argument to be made for a medium thrust super high efficiency stage. For instance, Vasimir maxes out at something like 27 times the specific impulse of Hydrolox. 27 times of about 4 kilometers a second low Earth orbit to low lunar gives you a budget of 108 kilometers a second. Check DMs for examples of a few trajectory times. "41 hours? Jeez. Should get on that. Should get on that. That'd be great. What were those other trajectories? 4 hours. Nice. Nice. 11 hours. Good transfer. Cool. Yeah, you can do a bunch of cool stuff. Rockets are stable on Earth because they have a low center of gravity, but if a payload nearly equal to the dry mass of Starship is hanging off the side, the center of gravity does not change. Drew. If a Starship had like a half tank of fuel here and a half tank of fuel on the moon, the center of gravity is the same. And awesome to see design diversity in the space community, even in designer programs. For example, Blue uses Creo and SpaceX uses NX. Newglands was designed in Creo. That makes a lot more sense now. Huh. Center of gravity is the center of mass, is it not? Yeah. But when you swing the elevator off, holding the payload off to the side, the Starship, it seems tippy. That's what the landing legs are for, dude. Check qualifications. They're using Creo. Okay. NASA uses Creo. SpaceX uses Siemens NX for their CAD.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Mechanical engineering student here. The word Creo sends a wave of rage through your body. Yeah. New Glen's was entirely designed in Creo. Oh boy. Okay. That explains a little more why it took so long. I'm just poking fun. It's not a big deal. What's Creo? It's CAD. It's a CAD system. SLS was in Creo as well, yes. Where does SolidWorks fall on that list? SolidWorks is pretty solid for works. I personally like Fusion. Fusion's pretty good. I'm a little bit of an Autodesk fanboy, though. GigaChads do CAD and Google SketchUp? Oh, jeez. Inventor. Excuse me, when in real life part design streams? I don't know. Anyway. Alright, guys. I think that's good for space news. It wasn't much, but we still got a lot. Yeah, the space news cycle is... It always slows down in the summertime, and then it slows down at the end of quarter 4. So we're starting to get to the end of quarter 4, and it's going to slow down. It always slows down during the holidays, dudes. Always. Yeah. First couple of weeks of summer, slows down, and then aerospace companies make a push into the fall, because Burger's Law, etc., etc., everybody's trying to get it done, and then it just goes to the next year. What's the plan for this evening? Well... Brimo's watching this documentary, Brimo's watching a new documentary that came out that I kind of want to watch with her. It's a Ken Burns documentary about the American Revolution, and episode 2 comes out in a couple of minutes. I kind of want to watch that, but if you guys want to play Battlefield for After Hours, I could do that too. It's so good. Oh, I love it, Zach. It was fantastic. Yeah, the first episode was... You had me at Ken Burns. What's it on? It's on PBS, dude. PBS. The whole thing is already on PBS, all episodes. You're available for BF6. But see, here's the thing, fellas. Yeah, all the episodes are on PBS at night. And they're literally the after hours slot every day this week. And I don't want to, look, next week is Thanksgiving vacation for me. That's the other thing. I don't want to, we need to give a lot of VOD content for the viewers. Because I'm going to be gone for a week. And I'm a little annoyed because I've been gone because of catastrophic real life events happening. And now we're going to go on Thanksgiving. We're going to go visit Breeze folks for Thanksgiving. So we really should give more VOD content. Bree, I think I'm going to stream. I think we'll play Battlefield. I think we'll do that. I want to catch a Red Wings game. I don't know. Dude, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, man. What's the documentary called? The American Revolution by Ken Burns. It's fantastic, Ogflex. We watched episode 1, and it talks about Lexington and Concord. And, dude, my spiel that I did in part 25 for Kerbal, my spiel that I did talking about the American Revolution was pretty good. I got most of the things right. I was actually... You didn't know all the episodes were online, to be honest. Oh. Okay. I mean, Bree, we could save them and watch them in Michigan if you want. Just saying. If that's the case, it changes things. Oh. Have you seen his Vietnam documentary? Yes. It's on PBS. You could also rewatch. Let's do that, Bree. Do you watch Vintage Space at all? Nah, not really, Drunar, but I know who Amy is. I don't think she knows who I am, though. Dude, I'm a space nerd just like... I'm a space flight fan just like everybody else, dude. I know most of the STEM creators, but most of them I know personally, but some of them I don't. Amy's somebody I never had the pleasure of meeting. Consider the PBS streaming service. There you go. Hell yeah. Yeah, Bree. We'll watch it when we're on vacation. We got Battlefield to play. We got people to shoot in Battlefield. Yeah, Drew. I don't really want to watch. Like, no offense to Amy. I'm sure I know her documentaries are great. I don't need to know why we didn't go to Apollo. It's probably just gonna piss me off, dude. I think I'd rather doom scroll. I mean, I'm gonna get pissed off either way. So actually, now thinking about it like that, maybe I should go watch it. The Vietnam one changed your brain. Ken Burns is the best, dude. His baseball documentary is fantastic. The baseball series documentary, amazing. All right, Petrie. If you get Discord working, dude, yeah, we could start getting into troubleshooting. I just really can't. I can't give you like one-on-one on the stream, man. I'd love to. But your name's Patrick, by the way. All right, man. All right, Pat. Well, I mean, whatever we can do, we'll figure it out, man. PBS is only for the United States. The public broadcasting system, PBS in the United States is what the BBC is to England. You're farm dude from Iowa. What part? Reviews for are holding out a 1.7. Jeez. What's the issue with Discord? I mean, all systems. If you want to help Petrie over in YouTube chat, dude, that would be doing me a huge solid. Petrie, I can get one of my mods that's better, more proficient at tech than I am to help. And yeah, we'll do that when we flip over to the Battlefield VOD. So I'll be back in a moment. I hope you guys enjoyed Space News. We'll get into some late night Battlefield for some after hours here in a moment. I will be back in a second. Stand by for loss of signal on YouTube as expected. Okay, it's just you and me, guys, for now. Let's go into... Late Night Battlefield with viewers 11/17/25. Let's do this. Let me just jog the YouTube VOD. We're taking the YouTube VOD for a little walk.